Hi everybody, this is Mr. RB. Today I'm going to show you how to use one-point perspective to make a letter Y that looks like a three-dimensional form. Here's how we go. I'm going to start by creating a horizon line, and I'm choosing to put my horizon line high up on my paper today. I'll think that the sun is up in the sky shining brightly down. We'll get back to that towards the end with some shadow. And I need to create a vanishing point. The vanishing point must be on the horizon line, and today I'm choosing to put it all the way to the left. This horizon line divides everything that is above our eye level, such as the sky and everything in it, with everything that's below eye level, things on the ground or close to the ground, anything that's below our eye level. This is significant because if it's below our eye level, we'll see the top of it. If it's above our eye level, we'll tend to see the bottom of it. Let's get going. I need to create a letter Y, and I need to make a bubble letter Y. I'm going to draw freehand today. I'm going to make a V that does not meet. Oh, the V does not meet. Then I'm going to go straight down, across, and then I need to make two horizontal lines. And finally, a V. I wanted to make a very straightforward angular Y. I believe, it makes it easier to see how the perspective lines and angles are working when you have a very straightforward, simple shape. So I'm going with a straightforward sort of Y today. You can be as fancy and elaborate as you might like, but every time you add a change in shape or angle, then or direction, every time it changes direction, that's another angle you're going to have to account for with your perspective lines. Hey, let's see what this requires. I'm going to put my pencil on the vanishing point, my ruler on my pencil, and I'm going to pivot, much like we might do in basketball, until I touch in this case, the bottom corner of the bottom of the Y. I'm going to connect those together. Now I'm going to put my pencil back on the vanishing point, ruler on the pencil, and I'm going to keep pivoting until I hit another change in direction or another corner. Oop, there's one right in the middle of the Y, where it changes from going straight up to V'ing out. Well, we know that this is a vertical line. That's what we started with. I'm going to put my ruler on that vertical line. And I want to get the back edge of this letter. I drew the front edge as a bubble letter. Let's figure out where the back edge of would go. I'm going to just take that and I'm going to slide my ruler towards my vanishing point a little and connect my two vanishing lines. I now have two lines, one from the bubble letter and one that mimics it, that does the same sort of thing. Vertical, vertical. These two lines are parallel. If you drew them going on out into space forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, they would never meet. Now, I'm going to erase the rest of my vanishing lines. And my vanishing lines would definitely meet. All my vanishing lines would meet at that same one vanishing point. We have only one vanishing point today, and that's why we call this one-point perspective. Next, I'm going to continue and look for another corner. I'll put my pencil on the vanishing point, ruler on the pencil. I pivot, pivot, pivot. Oh, there's that midpoint corner. Yay. And I keep going, and next I got to the top of the Y on the left. I'm going to connect that. I notice that the midpoint and the top are connected with a V'ing outline. It's a diagonal. I just created this arbitrarily. It was just what I wanted the Y to look like. So I'm going to make a similar one by putting my ruler on that line and moving my ruler towards the vanishing point until I get to the corner that corner that I created right here, and then I connect. My goal is that this line from the original Y and the new line be parallel. They go the same direction and would never meet. I'm going to get rid of this extra piece of vanishing line. And I think my Y is starting to look a little bit three-dimensional, but we have a ways to go still. Let's keep going. Pencil on vanishing point, ruler and pencil, we'll look for another line, another corner. Oh, hey, here's one over here, but notice this would go right through the Y. I'm going to figure that this Y is made of concrete, metal, stone, wood, something we wouldn't generally see through. And therefore, any lines or corners that would go through the back of the Y, we won't see, and we're not responsible for drawing them. Keeps things a little simpler and a little clearer. If I was drawing a fish tank or an aquarium all out of glass, then I would kind of need those back lines. We're not going to do that today. So skip that one, pencil back on the vanishing point. Let's keep looking. Next line I come to, a corner down in that V. Well, it would go through the Y as well, so we skip that. And on our search goes. Next we keep pivot, 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 and we come to the top of that left-hand arm. Now notice the front connects with a horizontal. Because the front connects with the horizontal, the back will connect with the horizontal. I'm just going to slide this up until I get to my left-hand corner and connect it across to create the right-hand corner. Well, I have just a little more to go. I put my pencil back on the vanishing point, ruler on the pencil, I pivot, and the next corner I get to is the left corner of the right-hand arm. Connect. Well, I have to get this line. I have this line in front. Again, that's a diagonal I just created for myself arbitrarily. Doesn't go towards anything in particular. But I need another one that's parallel and a little further back. I'm going to I'm going to turn this around so there, that feels better. Now I notice that this would point right towards here. Like you could almost have them continue. So I'm thinking that the back one, maybe I'll try making that. I'm going to slide back until I get to here, and that looks pretty good. This way, this one points right to here, and this one points right to there. The front points to the front middle, and the back points to the back middle. Well, that sounds parallel. All right, let's get rid of the extra vanishing line, which I believe, you can check me on this, but I believe those are also known as orthogonals. Orthogonal, what a great word. I learned when I was being taught this, I just learned them as vanishing lines, which describes them pretty well too. All right, let's get, we just need one more corner to find with our vanishing point. I'm going to go up until I hit that last right-hand top corner of the right-hand arm of the Y. There we go. And the front is a horizontal, and it lines up with the left arm's horizontal. So the back will be a horizontal, and I just want it to line up with the back, which it should. There we go. It doesn't have to line up. In the end, I think that's more of a question of what looks good to you and what are your ideas. Do you want your Y to look very symmetrical and precise, or do you want it to look more like it was sort of hand carved out of stone or wood or something? And the right answer is the one that works for you and your ideas. Hey, a couple quick things that we can do to add some more impact and believability to our drawing. I'm going to make this, the sun is coming up from up here. I'm going to figure it hits the roofs and makes those very bright white, and then the sides here would be a little dimmer. I'm going to figure that this would be definitely darker because it faces away from the sun. Notice I'm using the side of my pencil. I'm using the side, not the point. Oops. Not the point, but the side. I like using the side because not only does it cover more territory faster when I'm coloring in, but it doesn't dig into the paper. This will make it easier to smear the marks and hide the fact that there are marks there. Make it look like it's just a nice area of tone with no individual marks. The reason I want that is marks are something that shows up on paper and reminds people about how this was made. I don't want people thinking about how this was made. I want them to just experience it as being a little window into some other dimensional reality. Something that's fully three-dimensional and has light and shadow like our world, but we want it to feel like a window to somewhere else and not like a flat piece of paper with decorations on it. I'm going to add a little tone to the front, the original bubble letter. And the reason I'm doing this is, again, I want the tops to seem bright. Well, I can't make them any brighter or whiter than the paper started out. So I'm going to give some soft tone around them. And that'll help me. And I know I'm getting it on the tops right now, but I will clean that up in a moment. I'm also going to give a little tone down at the bottom to give a feeling of a cast shadow by the Y. We could use perspective, and this is definitely a conversation or a video for another day. We could use perspective to figure out how long and what direction the shadows go in. But for today, I'm just going to fake it a bit and just put a little pool, sort of an ovalish shaped pool of shadow at the base of my Y. I had the shadow come from the back of the Y forward because I'm thinking the sun is behind the Y. That's why it comes down in front, but I didn't put it in the back. All right. Now I do need to erase in the light up here because I smeared the gray right across, and I find it's easier usually to draw the white back in with the eraser than try to avoid getting any gray on as I'm coloring. The range from light lights to dark darks not only enhances the illusion of three-dimensional form, it also adds some drama and interest and excitement just visually. It's hard looking at things that are just kind of all the same. A little contrast makes them more interesting. Anyhow, I hope you have fun with this, and feel free to combine those with other letters to make words, ideas, statements, and express what you're looking to express. Have fun, choose kindness, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.